What's up, YouTube? What's up? It's Natalie. It's Hot Shot Adventures. Welcome back, you guys. So judging from the analytics on the first video, part one, I guess y'all just must be a bunch of mechanics, and what I'm talking about is totally like kindergarten stuff for you guys. But I'm not going to not finish the series on this truck maintenance just because the analytics are telling me that you have hardly any interest in it. I am going to finish this because I think it is very important. I think it's important because, you know, we're all out here, other YouTubers are out here talking about I made 8 grand this week, I made 10 grand this week, I made 12 grand this week. And that is true, and that does happen, yes, but it's only going to happen for so long before you have a breakdown. And the only way to minimize breakdowns, there's no way to completely, you know, ensure that you're never going to have a breakdown, because that's just not going to happen. With as many miles as we put in and as little amount of time, breakdowns are inevitable. But the way to minimize them is by doing regular maintenance and being really proactive with your pre-trips and your post-trips. That's the only way to do that. So I am going to finish this series. This is part 2, you guys, of truck maintenance. Really important to keep your truck in healthy working form so that you can continue to go out there and run and make your thousands of dollars. Hopefully, when a small issue arises, you catch it in enough time that it doesn't turn into a big issue. So again, part of that is regular maintenance. Part of that is always, you know, listening to your truck, feeling your truck, you know, how is she shifting? How is it, you know, all of this stuff. And taking care of her, you know, taking care of her. That truck is what is making you your money right now. So it is very important that you take care of the truck. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this series. This is part 2, you guys. In part 1, if you guys did not catch that, in part 1, I went over everything under your hood and all of your fluids, your belts, your batteries, all of that good stuff. And in this part 2, we're going to go over your brakes and some more stuff under the truck, your brakes, your rotors, your suspension. We're going to go over tires and some miscellaneous stuff at the end of this video. Your brake pads obviously are very important. When you are hearing some squeaking, that is a sure tell sign that you need to look at your truck brakes. As soon as you hear the squeaking, you need to check your pads, because that's usually a clear indicator. It could be that you've got a little dirt and you've got a little grime, you know, down there, and your brake pads are fine. But usually it's a clear indicator that your brake pads have worn severely low. If you don't swap them out with some good pads, then you're going to be wearing out your rotors too, and that's even going to cost you even more money. So brake pads, I use Wagner heavy duty brake pads. I think they're from O'Reilly or something like that. You can get brake pads anywhere. They're not hard to change out. If you catch your pads, you know, when they still have life on them, and replace them, then you really should never have to replace your rotors. It's when you wear your pads all the way down and you're spinning metal on metal, rotor on the pad, which is no longer, so it's at the end where it's just metal. Then you have to either turn your rotors, which is a gray area. Some guys say never to turn your rotors, and some guys say it's safe to turn them like once and then just replace them after that. So I think I have done both. I think I did turn my rotors one time on the front brakes, on the front axle of my very first truck, which was the Enterprise truck, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to drive. I didn't know how to set my brakes, and I warped the rotors. I warped the brakes. So that was a lesson, right, that I had to learn when I was very new. Now I just replaced the rotors all the way around, all 4 rotors on the Gray Wolf, just as a precautionary, you know, deal. I changed the pads, and I had the rotors on hand, and I just said, here, I brought the rotors to the shop with the guys, and I said, here, just change the rotors, change the pads all the way around, do it all. Brake pads, it's really, I've had pads last me like almost 100,000 miles, and then I've had pads last me like 60,000 miles. So it's really, the pads on the truck really are contingent on how you're setting your trailer brakes. So what I tend to do is I tend to set my trailer brakes a little bit higher, which means I save a little bit of the life on the truck brakes, but it usually means that I'm I'm using more of the trailer brakes. So it really kind of depends on how you set your trailer brakes and how you drive. If you're heavy on the gas and heavy on the brake and you're always gas brake, gas brake, gas brake, like some of the newbies that I've trained over the years, then it's going to show in how long your brake pads last, right? And if you drive more smoothly or on more flat ground or stuff like that, then your pads are going to last you a little bit longer. Brake pads are not expensive, you guys. They're not expensive. Rotors are not expensive, but if you're constantly running through rotors, you're the problem, not the truck. So again, rotors kind of as needed, and brake pads as needed, but again, sometime between usually 60 and 100,000 miles. Okay, let's get into tires. Tires are really, really, really important. Depending on the time of year that I need to change my tires, that will constitute whether I'm buying highway tires or whether I'm buying all-terrain tires. Of course, I love the look of all-terrain tires. They do look beefier, they do look more badass, but they're really not necessary in my opinion. Again, this is contingent on where you drive, what type of terrain you're driving in. Highway tires work just fine for me. They are a little bit cheaper. They don't look as cool. They last just as long. So if I am changing tires in the fall or in late summer, I will usually opt to purchase all-terrain tires. I used to only run all-terrain tires. But if I am changing tires in the spring, then I know, it's getting to warm season. There's really not a need for all-terrain tires, so I'll just put on a good highway tire. Now, tires we tend to go through a lot, and I'm going to tell you this. There's going to be guys out there that are going to be pissed off at me for saying this. I'm just going to tell you guys the truth. I do not rotate my tires, okay? I do not rotate my tires. I keep all my tires at about 70 psi, and what I have found is the front tires are going to last longer than your rear tires. Of course, right? Your rear tires are carrying the brunt of the weight, and they don't last as long. Now, when I used to rotate tires, right? You rotate the front and the back and in and out and crisscross, and you do all of that fine. I really did not find that I was getting too much more, life out of my tires. What I have kind of concluded is I don't rotate them anymore, right? My front tires will usually last me almost 100,000 miles, and my rear tires, I'm usually changing all 4 of them at 70,000 miles. So instead of buying a set of 6 tires, what I do is, I wear down my rear tires, and then I swap those 4 out. And then when my front tires are ready to be swapped out, I swap those out. And the reason why I do this is because I just don't have the time or the energy, and I don't care enough to disconnect my trailer on my days off and go run to the tire shop and get them rotated every 5,000 miles. Like 5,000 miles is every other week pretty much, it's too much, so that's what I have kind of found. Now, again, that is circumstantial. There are guys out there who say, wow, when I rotate my tires on a regular basis, I get an extra 10,000 miles out of them. I think I'm doing pretty damn good if if it takes me 70,000 miles to wear out the rear tires of my truck. And I'm not talking about wear out to the federal minimum. I'm talking about wearing them out to the Natalie minimum, what I'm comfortable seeing my tread at, right? Which is way thicker than what DOT says, they need to be at. So totally still legal tires, way more tread than I would need to pass an inspection, but they're low enough for me to be ready to change them. So I just actually went and put a brand new set of 4 tires on the rear of the Gray Wolf. And my tire guy said, hey, Natalie, he's like, those tires lasted you 70,000 miles. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty freaking good for some Chinese knockoff tires. That's another thing, you guys. I used to buy tires at Discount Tire and pay for the insurance and all of that stuff, and I would buy, really nice Wranglers or whatever I would buy. I stopped doing that because they just cost too much money. And what I was finding, it's a good sales point, right, for Discount Tire to tell you, yeah, buy the insurance, the insurance per tire times 6. The insurance is usually like $30 or $35 a tire times 6 tires. But what I was finding was I don't never use it. 1 time or 2 times I had them patch a tire. What's a plug cost you? If you take your truck to a shop because you got a screw or a bolt or a nail in it, and they can plug it, a plug costs 20 bucks, 10 bucks in some states, 15 bucks, 20 bucks. That's it. So I was spending $35 times 6 tires for this insurance that I ended up really only using for a couple plugs, which would have cost me 20 bucks. So I don't have, I've had like 2 trailer blowouts. I buy good trailer tires, and I've had one, it wasn't even a blowout on my truck. It was a really big bolt that got into the tire, made its way into the tire, and I lost all air really, really quickly, but it didn't blow out. So that happened like literally one time. Now, I stopped buying really expensive tires because I didn't find that they lasted me any longer. Again, this is my opinion. This is my experience. I now buy these, I think they're called Patagonia, Patagonia tires. They're like some off-brand, they're a good tire. Like I said, they just lasted me 70,000 miles. I didn't have one issue with those 4 rears, and I've been using them for like the last couple of years now on my trucks. And 70,000 miles on a tire that cost me about $180 or less. I think it costs me $700 for all 4 back tires. So, I think that's pretty damn good. Again, tires, it's another gray area because everybody's got an opinion on it. So you guys, share with us your comments on that if you want to, and tell me, you can tell me I'm doing bad by not rotating my tires. That's fine. I don't mind. And you can share with, with everybody else your comments or what you have found works for you guys. I'm just sharing with you guys what works for me. I ain't going to disconnect to go rotate my tires every 2 weeks. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to spend, a bunch of money on expensive tires anymore because they don't last me any longer and they cost me so much more money. So, and I'm doing just fine with these tires. I'm happy with them. They last me a long time. They're safe tires. The one suggestion that I can make for you guys is these trucks come standard. The 350s and the 450s, 3500s and 4500s, they all come standard with 17, inch rims. When you get into the 5500s, usually those will come with 19-inch rims. 19-inch rims, you can upgrade 19-inch rims if you special order your truck. You can request that they put 19-inch rims on there with a heavy-duty tire, and you can find them on Facebook Marketplace, right? People are getting rid of their rims and tires all the time. You can swap out your 17-inch tires, rims and tires that came with your truck, and put some 19s on there. Now, what that will do is that will allow you the opportunity to purchase a really heavier duty tire, like a Continental tire. And that tire will last you probably 150,000 miles. So it's going to cost you a little bit more for the tire, but it's going to last twice as long as the tires that I'm telling you guys about will last you. So yeah, they are going to cost you more, and it's going to be a rougher ride. More than likely, it's going to be a rougher ride, if you throw those 19s on there and a really heavy duty tire, but that tire is going to last you a really long time. So that would be the only way that I would suggest, really making any change. If you were to make a change on your truck with regards to rims and tires, that would be the way that I would personally do it. You can find them on Facebook Marketplace for a couple grand. Suspension, all your suspension parts, you shouldn't have any issues with any suspension part unless you hit a deer or, I don't know, run over a freaking alligator or something. I don't know. Unless you do something, unless there's a road hazard, you really shouldn't be changing out any suspension, anything like that. I had a little leak on my driver's side front axle on the Grey Wolf. I had a little leak and I took it to my alignment guys. I'm like, hey, what's this leak? It turned out it was the hydraulic master cylinder or something like that. I don't know what it was. Brake cylinder. I don't know. It had a little leak in it. And so they swapped it out. That was a $500 part. But that was, she's got 225,000 miles on her and I saw a little leak. And so that was probably just normal wear and tear. I did, upgrade some shocks, but again, 225,000 miles in. Yes, I upgraded some shocks. But other than that, really, shouldn't have any suspension deals. Yes, you want to replace your shocks somewhere over 200,000 miles. It's probably a good idea. They're probably a little tired by then, right? Now let's go over a couple little miscellaneous things. One is recalls, okay? When you buy these new trucks, that's what they do. They pump them out from the manufacturer so friggin' fast, and then they cover their butt. The manufacturer covers their butt by doing a stupid recall, right? And then they tell us, oh, just take it back to the, to the dealership and they'll take care of it for you, no problem. And it's going to be really fast. And there's Lexi's new cat. This one's nuts, you guys. This one is crazy. So they'll tell you, yeah, just take it back, take it back to the dealership. And, we'll take care of this or that, or we'll reprogram your computer. I don't like dealerships, period. I don't like them. I don't like their service. I don't like their communication. I don't like the fact that I have to wait for them. I feel that I've already overpaid way too much money for their product in the first place, and I shouldn't have to spend days waiting for my truck to have a computer thing programmed, reprogrammed that would take them 2 hours and could get me in and out of there really quick. I hate recalls. Right now there's probably like 3 recalls on my trucks. Like, I don't take them back. I read the letter, I get the letter in the mail, I read the letter, and I decide whether it's something important or not. One of them was like the front camera on one of my trucks, and they wanted to replace it because people were saying some of them were faulty. Mine was working just fine. And even though they're going to give me a new camera, I don't care. To me, it's 2 or 3 days that I'm going to be down and not have my truck that I'm already spending insurance on. I've already paid the registration on. Like, all of my fixed costs are still running, but I'm not making any money because my truck is in the shop waiting on some stupid camera. It's just retarded. So I personally, if it's not something really important, I'm not taking my truck back there, because they end up programming something and then they end up doing something else and they don't tell you, it's just a mess. I personally I don't like their whole get down. I don't like their whole program, but I can't change it. It is what it is. And I bought a new truck and there's so much electronic stuff in there that, something is bound to screw up eventually. If it's not a big thing, I let it ride. If it is a big thing, then I will, make sure that I have an appointment and that I am clear on how long that they are going to keep my truck, and that they are clear that this is my moneymaker, and don't think that I'm just going to be waiting for you. I want my truck back when you say you're ready for my truck. You better be ready for my truck, and you better work on my truck, and you better give it right back. Check engine lights, okay? Check engine light or service engine soon or whatever. Sometimes these things are really, really small things, right? So when your check engine light comes on, I strongly suggest to spend a couple $100 on a code scanner. You can get them from AutoZone. You can buy them specifically from the manufacturer, whoever, whether you run Fords like me or you run Rams, whatever. Buy you one that's compatible with your truck and your year of truck. And that will save you, you're going to spend $300-400, whatever, on a code scanner, on a good one. Don't buy a crappy, cheapy one. Buy a good one, $300 to $600, something like that. Buy a good one, because that's going to save you money. Keep it in your truck, and if your check engine light comes on, you can plug in the code scanner all by yourself. You can learn about it. There's YouTube videos on those things. You can learn, and that's going to save you from worrying about the check engine light and continuing to drive it and just thinking, oh, well, she's still running fine, so hopefully it's nothing big, right? And just keep putting down the road. Or it'll save you from taking it to the dealership and letting them hook up the code scanner, because they're going to charge you $250 or more just to scan, just for their little computer to tell you what's wrong with your truck. And again, it could be something really small and unimportant, but if you run your truck without figuring out whether it's important or not, it could be a big issue or it could be a small issue. So invest in that, you guys. If you end up starting this and you end up actually staying with it. The other thing is extended warranties. I'm going to cover extended warranties really quick. Extended warranties, it really depends upon how mechanically inclined you are, right? Because an extended warranty is good for somebody like me, right? I don't know too much about these things, and I'm not going to just start tearing my truck apart. Thinking like I do know something about something I don't, so I opted to purchase extended warranties. Again, it's kind of like the insurance on the tires that I was just talking about. I've purchased extended warranties and I have not had the opportunity to use them, unfortunately. So I really, that money just kind of went down the tubes. But I purchased the extended warranty thinking, hey, if something is going to happen, I want it to be covered. Right? So my best advice to you guys is, if you do want to purchase an extended warranty, then purchase it. Don't wrap it into your loan when you purchase the truck, because the truck already comes with a warranty, 50,000 mile warranty or whatever it has. purchase the extended warranty before that warranty runs out, just before it runs out. So if you have a 50,000 mile warranty, take the truck back to the dealership at 45,000 miles and tell them, hey, I want to purchase an extended warranty for 150,000 miles, because then your truck is actually being warranted for the 50,000 that you already purchased when you purchased the truck, right? The free warranty. And then you go and purchase the extended warranty before that warranty expires, then you actually have the truck warranted for 200,000 miles. Now, the pro to that is you're getting the warranty for an extended amount of miles, but the con to that is when you do purchase the extended warranty, when you purchase the truck, that warranty, the cost of the warranty is wrapped up into your loan. But when you purchase it afterwards, you're going to have to put it on a credit card or pay cash or whatever, however you're going to pay it. So it could be another $5,000. It could be more than that. It just depends upon what kind of warranty that you want. So could be a good thing, you guys, could be a bad thing. I mean, again, you know, if your tranny blows, which has happened to Eddie, you know, 3,500 miles on his first run doing Hot Shot, his transmission blew, and he had to, thank God the truck only had 3,500 miles on it. It was still under warranty. So he took it back to Ram, and you know, 7 weeks, it took them 7 weeks to fix it, and he finally got it back. But it could have cost him thousands and thousands of dollars if it was past the warranty. So either purchase the warranty, or you know, you run the risk of paying for a really expensive, potentially a very expensive part that could have been covered under the warranty. So those are the two ways, you know, you can go, and you guys will just have to decide what you want to do as you cross these things, as you pass these things. So in the next video, you guys, I will do trailer maintenance. I am going to keep with the series. I'm going to finish it up regardless of whether you guys want to see it or not. At least it'll be in YouTube up in the air somewhere, and anybody can pull these when they feel that they need to. So those will be in the next videos to come, hopefully this week, but we'll see. I've got a crazy busy week, and you guys be safe. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions for any of us, please leave them in the comments section, and I will read them all and reply to you guys as I can. You guys be safe. Have a really good week. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.